Everyday superpower, we talk body language, relationships, game, and everything in between. Everything in between. Hold on to the end and soak this up like a sponge. Pursuing her signifies weakness, signifies neediness. Oh, but I already know that, man. I don't chase no one. Okay. Well, who's chasing you? And do you know how to apply that in a particular manner that suits you? Have you become aware and observant to the dynamic between you and the women in your life? And the business dealings in your life, with the engagements, the friendships, the groups in your life? Even when you get together in a relationship, there's a unspoken of power dynamic that one needs one more than the other. And as devilish the reality might be, let me give you some game. If it's you who needs her more, you're screwed. You can't put a face on. No one can put a face on. At some point, it's going to seep out through these minute little communication transactions that she is of a higher value than you in the marketplace. And she's going to start to push that margin a little bit and start to experiment with you a little bit and start to learn to detest you a little bit as your subconscious understanding through your recognition of patterns of society gives you away. Consciously, you might think one thing, but you can't stop that which you don't acknowledge. It'll give you away. When you pursue a woman, you're on the back foot. 90% of men, if not 95, pursue women. Pay attention to what I'm saying, do the math. So if you manage to make yourself an object of want, if you create an identity, a reputation, a character, a magnetic pull to you through, I don't know, portraying yourself as wanted by women, portraying or garnering a reality that men follow you, you're a leader, you're an alpha male. I'm an alpha male. If you create a material pull that, although I don't necessarily agree is a great way of doing things, hey, it works to those who have a materialistic outlook, and from there how you choose to game that is up to you, you know. All the rich people I know in my life know no different. That's how they think relationships go. Women are attracted to them and then they piss their money up the wall and then get used and abused. But if you got some game to you, or if you come from an environment as to where you didn't necessarily have much and now you're starting to use your brain and starting to accumulate that scarcity rooted mindset of where you came from, can have you operate in that relationship as a way that you can really make things work. Because you got game, you got knowledge, you got understanding, you've got perception of that which people don't see, the dynamic between the man and the woman, and the man and the man, and the woman and the woman, and the communities together, and the world in engagement in this big political facade. You see it. You see it. You've seen it and believed it and made something of yourself in a world that wants to give you so much resistance and break you down and create weakness out of you, that it has forged a Herculean stature of a masculine entity out of you. Well done. If you go to a job interview, it's because you want a job. The job interview doesn't come to you because they want you. Nah. Doesn't work that way. You go to the job interview because you want that job. You put yourself in submissive position. You pursue. You go out of your way. You move literally, physically outside of your comfort zone to enter a place of discomfort where they call the shots in order for them to potentially give you a chance. You're pursuing them. Sun Tzu, or Sun Tzu, some call him. The art of war. The army that is in position is strong. Those that have to travel to combat the opposition army are in a bad position. Those whom are ready are prepared. Apple doesn't come to you with the new iPhone. I mean, arguably a bit of advertisement and so forth could be debatable, but if you want the product, you go to get the product. Or if you want to look at it transactionally, there's an uneven transaction. This is products full stop. You purchase a product, you hand over a surplus amount of cash or credit that outweighs the actual value of that product. You pursue. You give so much and they give you so little in return. Now let's look at the woman's perspective. Every woman on planet Earth will tell you that they want a leader, that they're attracted to leaders. If that wasn't the case, why is popular media that's sold to women and erotica and so forth, why is it based on a particular archetype of man? Why does the sexy man own a business? Why is he successful? Why is he a king? Why is he an aristocrat? Why is he a tortured popular artist? He's not a loser. There's no dominance in losing. If you're in the Olympics and you come first, you get more money. More money is more resource. More resource creates a better life. Women want a leader. They want number one. Men want to be number one. So be careful around men who... They don't have to say a thing, just be careful around men. They all have testosterone. They all want to be number one and they all get bitter when you are number one. So, what do? Step on everyone's toes or keep it under wraps and never talk about how secretly you're beating everyone and are doing it in complete awareness, but hide the fact. Try to hide the fact. It's up to you. You're fucked. But in a way, you're peacocking because what you're doing is going against the grain and creating enemies through your value. They perceive you as valuable. They see and acknowledge the fact you're a leader. So she does. This is social engineering, and not through a manufactured, manipulative sense. This is a reality of human dynamics. I'm putting you on game today, so hold on. She wants a leader, and so in wanting a leader, she wants to pursue you. That's optimized, that's optimal. You put yourself in position of pursuit. That doesn't mean you can't go over and say hello. It means as soon as you can, you have to verbally jujitsu this situation into her in a position of pursuing you. It should take no longer than, so much communication. Come on. And then you only continue to emphasize this and enhance this and calibrate yourself into the appropriate positions, i.e. the woman pursuing you, i.e. the woman submitting to you, i.e. the woman being a woman and you being a man. If you speak to a man, and because he thinks politically speaking, he has to tell you when you ask him, are you the head of the household? He says, starts stuttering and buttering, especially if his missus is around. He's a bitch. And his missus don't like him. I swear to God. Honestly. If you ask a man who runs the house, and you ask a man, does your wife submit to you? And you ask a man questions like this, and his wife's around, and he starts oohing and ahhing and making excuses and saying this and that, because he thinks it's right to say, and that's the world he lives in. He's a bitch, and his wife, his girlfriend, his partner doesn't respect him. She hates hearing that. She doesn't want that. That's not the life she was brought up in. That's not the men she was masturbating over. She don't think, oh, I want a man I can walk all over. Ooh, isn't that good, yeah? There's a to and fro. There's a natural dynamic as to where you do have to submit in communications. But generally speaking, there is an undercurrent of what is. You know? And if you get walked all over and she comes across a man who can't be walked all over, not only is she seeing him as better than you, but you fill the gaps. When she pursues you and you're aware of it because you learn how to read the signs, all you have to do at that point is let her get what she wants. How beautiful is that? If I create scarcity in a market and imply that I've only got one product left for sale and 5 people want that product, are people going to jump to give me everything for that product? They might give me more than what I was initially asking for. And they think they've won. No. I win. But she knows that deep inside. Both you and her have created this agreement to make a winner out of you because you know she wants a winner. She loves the fact you're a winner and she allows you to win. Click like and subscribe. Don't tell me I don't put you on game. Peace.